If you're a songwriter, you want three things from your lyric writing. You want consistent inspiration, a meaningful message, and a process that doesn't eat up your whole day. Because you don't need more theory. You just need a way to go from blank pages to finished lyrics reliably. But the weird part is that most lyric advice out there makes this harder, not easier. It's built for people who have all day waiting for divine inspiration, or they are looking for entertainment that sounds smart but never changes what they do. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact system I and my students used. The system to go from eliminating writer's block to daily finished lyrics. And it's the exact same system producer used to finally get clarity on writing, and it only took 30 days. But don't get me wrong, this isn't something I randomly came up with. Everything is based on hit songs and the techniques used to make them successful. So in this video I'm gonna show you everything inside that system. But to start, you need to understand the three things you need to have if you want to succeed with lyrics. So the first ability you need to have is a solid way to ideate lyrics. In other words, you need to have something meaningful to say. And I don't know about you, but when I first started out, this was a huge problem for me. Because writing with my instrument came easy, but when I needed to find words, my mind froze. I stared at my page and had no idea what to talk about. But this is what most songwriters struggle with. And there are two ways they sabotage themselves. First, they say to themselves, I have nothing meaningful to say. But that's not true. Because you have a unique life that shapes who you are. A life filled with lots of different perspectives, experiences and interests. Every single day is filled with lots of tiny interesting stories. Stories that are begging to become great songs. But most songwriters are not conscious about that. They think they need to write masterpieces or that their stories don't matter. But listen to all your songs you admire, all the songs that moved you. What are they talking about? All these songs tell deep emotional stories. Often they are not cinematic masterpieces, but small moments. And it's in these small moments where you build a connection with your listeners. It's more like taking one emotional picture instead of filming the entire movie. Because the power comes from the moment being true, not being huge. So when all these songwriters can share their stories, you can do as well. But there's another way songwriters sabotage themselves. It's by saying this: why should I write about this topic? There are so many songs out there that already talked about that. But this is where we stop and need to think for a second. Tell me, what's the purpose of a song? The purpose is to capture emotion and then share it with the world. It's not about being the best. Just look at your playlist or even the Billboard Hot 100. And you will see so many songs that talk about the same thing. But they are all successful telling their unique story. And that's what's so great about it. Because there's no such a thing as the best way to share a story. You can explore infinite unique ways to write about your life. And the best thing is you have everything you need right now. Because you have a life with unique opinions, experiences and interests. A combination nobody shares in this world with you. It's like an instrument that only you can play. Or a melody that only you can sing. This is what makes you, you. Because that's all you need to find and write impactful lyrics. And there's one exercise that always works when it comes down to finding unique stories. It's called scary messages. And there's only one thing you need to do. Sit down for 10 minutes and write down every topic you have trouble talking about. Topics you wouldn't say out loud or anybody else. Because this is where you find the small gold nuggets you need to write authentic lyrics. Every student of mine hates this exercise at first. But once they see the list of topics in front of them, they change their mind. But having the ability to find ideas is only one part of lyric writing. And I'm sure you have lots of them. So this is where the next thing comes into play. Because we need to have a reliable way to transform all these ideas into finished lyrics by the end of the day. So we need to have a reliable and proven workflow. Most songwriters run into the same three problems when writing lyrics. Number one, they have ideas but don't find the right words to express them. Number two, they've written some parts but have no ideas left to complete the rest. And number three, they don't feel inspired and get distracted all the time. But all these problems come down to one single thing: not having a reliable step-by-step workflow. A workflow that makes it possible to write a whole song from even one single word. Because the workflow is like turning on the GPS on your phone. And if you're new to a city and you want to go to one place in time, you wouldn't just start wandering around. You want clear instructions to get there the fastest in few steps as possible. But most songwriters just start wandering around. They don't even know if they're walking in the right direction. Then eventually they get lost and frustrated. But I can already hear you say, I don't want to force lyrics. They need to come naturally or else they feel cringe or unauthentic. But the thing is, a workflow is not about forcing inspiration. It's about creating it. Because a workflow will never force you to write anything. It's not like your boss at work that shouts at you all the time what you need to do. It's more like a sparring partner that writes the song with you. Like a fellow songwriter that gives you interesting questions and exercises to develop your ideas. But let's take one step back and look at what professional songwriters do. They don't have time waiting for inspiration. So over the years, they developed a system to let them create music every single day. But this is something that you can do as well. Because even small changes in your approach will have huge impact in your ability to write. So let me show you my students' favorite exercises that help them create their workflows. First, I teach them to use free writing, a simple technique where you write down what comes to mind. This helps them find ideas and explore them further, giving them the fuel they need to write authentic lyrics. Next, I let them create a story structure. This is where they decide what the main idea of the song will be and how it's told. This creates interesting and progressing stories unique to them and made to be memorable. And last, I give them an easy way to come up with interesting and unique metaphors that aren't cringe or cliche, because metaphors are such a powerful tool that almost every song uses them. I checked the Billboard Hot 100 today, and all these songs use metaphors in their lyrics. Once you've seen the benefits of a workflow, you cannot go back. Waiting for inspiration will feel like a giant waste of time, and you will notice that once the ball gets rolling, inspiration will always follow. But even the best workflow will not get you anywhere without the next thing: consistency. There's one thing every hit songwriter has in common, and it's not talent, it's consistency. Because they show up every single day to work on their craft, even if they don't feel inspired, if they don't have ideas, or if life gets hard. But they always make time to improve their craft every single day. Think about it, writing lyrics is a skill like any other. This means it takes time and consistency to improve. But the world's best workflow and endless idea will be no good if you can't manage to use all of this. And it doesn't matter at what level you are right now, because the only thing that matters is consistent improvement. Because if you only improve 1% per day, by the end of the year you will be an unstoppable lyricist. But I see one thing all the time, one thing that stands in your way, and that's getting trapped in distractions. There were times where I binged hundreds of YouTube videos to learn about lyric writing, and I thought I learned so much, but I never took the time to actually apply what I learned. So when I finally managed to sit down and write songs, I couldn't remember 90% of what I watched the days or weeks before. And that's when I understood that learning is not about remembering, learning is a change in behavior. So when you binge hundreds of videos but never actually write a song, you haven't learned anything. But it's not only about you learning and using new skills, it's also about keeping your existing ones. Because skills are like a muscle, and if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I don't know about you, but in the past I tried to learn everything all at once. In a span of weeks I actually improved and used what I learned. But then months passed where I didn't write anything. And that's why I needed to learn a hard lesson. Because once I got back to songwriting, everything I've learned already left my head. So you see, when you don't use your lyric muscle, it will weaken. So focus on daily small amounts instead of giant learning sprints with lots of pauses. This makes it much easier to stay consistent. And you're probably thinking, I don't have time to become a master lyricist. As a musician, I already wear so many hats and can't dedicate myself solely to this. And you're right, you don't, because it takes years to master every type of rhyming, rhetoric tools, and reach poetic level of Greek philosophers. But the truth is, you don't need to go this far. For example, look at the lyrics of songwriters like Lizzie McAlpine. Her lyrics are that simple, but authentic. They capture emotion and build connection. But let's be honest, this just sounds like typical internet marketing talk, doesn't it? Oh, it's gonna be so easy and take no time. But let's be real, in the first few weeks, this is going to feel slower than you expect. Because this isn't a fairy tale where everything instantly works. It will feel harder because you have to relearn everything. Everything you thought you knew was true about lyric writing. You're also going to start to spot massive problems you didn't know existed. And it's not going to be a 5-minute task to fix them. That's why you need to expect to go backwards before you go forwards. Because you have to rebuild your foundations, fix your mistakes, and level you up to get your results. But then your consistency and workflow will kick in, giving you the ability to write song lyrics in a matter of hours. So no, you don't have time to master every part of lyric writing. Nobody does if that's your goal. But if you want to learn only the handful of techniques that actually make a difference, the techniques that don't rob your time for writing music, then you're the right place. So what is the system that will help you with all of these things I've shown you so far? And how is it going to enable you to save time, find inspiration, and write authentic lyrics? Well, let me show you. This is the Lyric Liberation Leap, a 6-step system that makes lyrics the easiest part of songwriting. In step 1, I take you through a 30-day challenge. This will be your bootcamp, developing the most important skill you need: consistency. In 30 days and only 50 minutes of daily practice, we will break bad habits, unlock useful writing techniques, and teach you to create inspiration. Days 1 to 8 will be your conditioning. This is why we focus on your creative power, the power to write in an authentic and interesting way, giving you the tools to write lyrics even on days without inspiration. Days 9 to 18 are your technical training. This is where we teach you how to master a mainstay of hit lyrics: metaphors. I teach you a headache-free way to come up with unique and interesting metaphors your listeners love to listen to. But then we enter the field training in days 19 to 30, and this is where we take off the training wheels, because we will apply everything under real conditions. We will focus on turning your writing into song-ready lines. Lines you can throw into your songs without lots of rewriting. But that's not the best thing. The best thing is the writing habit we are building along the way. The consistency lasting you a lifetime. In step 2, I'll show you my proven workflow. It helped me and all of my students make lyrics easy. The Lyric Compass. Because it guides you from finding your first ideas to finished lyrics. All step by step in a structured way. So you don't waste time guessing around what you need to do next. You just follow the steps, answer the questions, and use the techniques. And I know that one workflow doesn't fit every musician. And that's why the Lyric Compass contains 2 approaches. So no matter if you want to let inspiration guide you, or you want to work methodically like a scientist, the Lyric Compass has you covered. In step 3, we shape your lyrics into the most powerful form they can be. And this is where the lyric cheat sheet comes into play. It's a checklist with 18 techniques that guide you through the 4 areas of lyric writing: conveying emotion, memorability, creating interest, and focus. But you might already have the free version of this. But don't worry. In this system, you will get lots of more bonus content. This will help you dive deeper into all of these techniques and help you improve your writing even more. Because all it takes is to just check at least 10 boxes. Then you will know that your lyrics are on the same level as all the songwriters you admire. Step 4 lets you dive into all the advanced techniques and tricks. So if you're still hungry for more knowledge, if you don't want to waste time searching through books, forums, and videos, if you want only one place to master lyrics, then this is where you get this, the Lyric Lexicon. It's like a library for all your writing needs. With it, you get access to everything I know about lyric writing. Trust me, there's plenty of material to work through. It's filled with advanced tricks. Tricks like using the length of lines to convey certain emotions. Or my favorite, playing with the listener's expectation to create interest. Or packaged up in small bite-sized videos with lots of examples so you don't get bored along the way. In step 5, we tackle the most asked question I get. And that's, what happens after the 30-day challenge? Do I have to repeat the same exercises? Won't this get boring? No, not at all. Because this is where you get access to the Lyric Gym, a collection of daily workouts you can use to improve your writing skills. Workouts you can use indefinitely without becoming boring. And if consistency has always been hard for you, you get access to step 6, an exclusive community. A space of like-minded writers, sharing tips, tricks, and holding each other accountable. So no matter which roadblock you face, we will always have your back. But that's not all. Imagine you bought an iPhone and every year Apple just gave you the latest one for free. Well, that's how I work with my students. Once you're signed up, you keep all the training, the videos, the systems, and get future updates too. And if you're still on the fence about it, then just try it out. You get a 14-day money-back guarantee, no question asked. So if you're a musician that doesn't want to waste time staring at blank pages, if you want to transform your life stories into authentic and interesting lyrics, or you can dedicate only 50 minutes per day for the next 30 days to work on your skills, then I can help you. So apply now, and let's make lyrics the easiest part of songwriting. Click the link or button below.